Walking Beyond Borders. My name is Lena. As you guys know, this is a channel that I share with my boyfriend, Jason. And this is the third video in a weight loss journey series that I have. This video will probably not be too long. However, someone did leave a comment recently saying they wanted some more information about the glucose sensor that I wear, that is a continuous wearing sensor. And I figured that I'd make a very quick separate video about this. I will most likely put some screenshots in the video to show you a few of the main screens on the application that you can get on your phone. I will insert that right now. All right, so the first screenshot is how to actually find the application. I have an Apple iPhone, so I go into the App Store, I type in Freestyle Libre 2, and the application comes up. You do need to install it. Once installed, there's some setup instructions to set up a profile, and once you have your profile going, you can get started in the app. One of the greatest things about the Libre 2 application is just how easy it is to navigate and use. However, if you don't know how to do something, they have a wonderful help section, and you can find basically everything to get you started and how to apply a sensor, how to scan one, how to read certain reports. It's all there at your fingertips. If you were to click on a section in the help menu, things like how to apply a sensor, you can see based on this screenshot that it actually is very helpful. It doesn't just give you words to follow along with, but it gives you images as well. And so very, very user-friendly. There's so many different reports that you can use or different graphs and charts that you can use within this application. But I just wanted to highlight two of my favorites and two that I find that the doctors, when I am in appointments, they want to look at very quickly as well. The first one is time and range. So this tracks for like 14 days, 30 days, 90 days. And at very easy glance, it will show you how much of percentage you are in range, which means you're doing really great. Maybe in the times that you've went low with your blood glucose and times where you've spiked and went way too high. It is a very, very helpful feature. The second feature that I really like a lot is the estimated A1C. Now, yeah, this is definitely not as accurate as a blood test that I have to go and get done every 3 months. But as a new diabetic and as someone who had a huge high A1C, you can just imagine how excited I am to see that mine is getting way more like the normal range. It just tells me that all my hard work is paying off and the due diligence that I'm making with all of my choices is actually, there's benefits to it. All right, so now that I showed you a few of the key features of the Freestyle Libre 2 application that you can get in your phone, I just wanted to put it out there that you can also, if you don't want to use your phone for that, you can get a handheld sensor reader right from the Abbott company that makes the Libre 2. But in today's world and all our smartphones, I just personally think I would not want to be carrying around an additional reader on top of everything else that we carry around. So they've made it super simple with doing a smartphone application. And as you saw in previous screenshots, super easy to use. This is the Freestyle Libre 2. When you get this, whether you're, and again, very big disclaimer, none of this is sponsored. This is my own medications, prescriptions that I pick up through my own plan. And so no affiliation with these companies at all, but a lot of diabetics use this kind of stuff, and it's good to put it out there. So when you do get your Libre 2 system or your sensors from the pharmacy, they will come in little boxes like this. Each one of these boxes is one sensor that will be applied to your body and stay there continuously for 14 days, so 2 weeks. Depending on your drug plan, your benefits, things like that, it will determine how many you can get at one time, obviously based on your own limits. So I will go ahead and open up this package. As you can see in the box, there is always an instruction manual. I don't need this at this time because I pretty much have this down pat. Your Libre system comes in two distinct pieces. There is a bottom and there is a top to it. So we will open those together because I'm doing this real time with you. You get some alcohol swabs to clean your skin before you apply. They do give you two. I usually only use one, so I've got an extra one sitting around. And so some key tips, I would say, tricks. This sensor is, it sticks very, very well. However, the edges of the sensor, as time goes by in your 2 weeks, starts to lift off the skin a little bit. So I will show you something that I bought off of Amazon to help with that as time goes by, because essentially, depending on how your benefits cover these things, you need these little babies to last 2 weeks. So I very quickly learned that there is some things that you can buy to help with that. But I would say no matter what, and I think it will all depend on, personal reasons, how hard of a time you have with this. Myself, I have psoriatic arthritis. So the psoriasis bothers my skin. It makes my skin very dry. And so naturally, I'm not surprised that the sensors lift a little bit more around the edges as time goes by and my skin gets drier and drier. I think it also depends on how much you shower too. So if you shower as frequently as myself, you know, it's constantly getting wet around the edge. And again, hot water, drying out the skin, you know, it's, I would say that that's the only downside to this, is I wish that it did stick a little bit better. But the funny thing is, as lifted as the edges get as time goes by in the 2 weeks, it always takes a lot of like effort to actually pull it entirely off the skin after the 2 weeks. So whatever's not lifted around the edge and whatever adhesive is on your skin underneath the disc it still remains pretty sticky. I would say in all the times I've done this so far, I've only had one rip off me accidentally, and that was my own fault because I got it caught on a door frame as I was walking by. So I would say just be careful. So with that being said, alcohol swab, and I always make sure that my skin is very well washed in the areas that I'm going to apply it to. Your Libre 2 system goes on either this arm or this arm. You have to alternate it every 2 weeks. So when you're pulling it off of one arm, you're going to automatically go and attach it to the other. I don't have one on right now because I had already taken mine off in the interest of time, but I will be going for this arm today. I will say that you are aiming for the back of your arms. So essentially you're not wanting to put it on the top. You're not wanting to put it on the side. You're aiming for somewhere in and around here. You know, it's fairly easy to do. So your bottom portion, you have to rip it open. It is very well sealed. This is what the bottom of the device looks like. This is going to be part one. This is the top. This actually screws off. It is sealed so that you know nobody has went into it. I mean, and mind you, your box is also sealed as well. So everything is very secure. You would twist this. You're going to hear it snap because it does have a seal on it. You would just take this piece off. This is the piece you need. And this, I would say don't touch anything in there because that disc that you see there is the disc that actually gets stuck to your skin. So you're taking one piece and the other piece, and the trick is that you're going to attach the two of them together to make your one handheld device. The way that you do this is that there is a line here on your sensor bottom, and there's also this line here on the top of your sensor. Basically what you're doing is you're going to match up the line that's here with this line that's on this device. It sits together like that. As you can see, there's one and there's the line. I will need to put this down to do this because it does have to be forced in there. But essentially, you're going to be pushing this top into this bottom. You will hear it make a loud click as I do it. That is normal. Just make sure that you know you haven't messed anything up in that moment. So I'll put it down for a second so that I can push this part down. That's the click I'm talking about. And now it looks like this. So it almost makes you think, oh my gosh, did I make a mistake? Did I put that in there too much? Did I activate it? You have not. Now the top and the bottom is going to act as one piece. You would pull this out now. And as you can see, the two pieces have went together the way it needs to. This is now discarded. There's nothing in this section that you now need. Everything you need here is here in this one handheld device. I will say, you're going to see, I don't know if you can see it very well right now, but in the middle, there is a little needle. I know, I will say, as somebody who is not crazy about needles, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to poke myself with that. I was worried and a little nervous, but I will say, I was actually pleasantly surprised that it doesn't really hurt, really. So, and this is somebody, I don't like needles. So with that being said, this piece is ready to go and we'll get started. So alcohol swab. I'm going for the back of the arm. So somewhere in and around there is going to be the perfect spot for it. I'm going to give it a chance just to dry a little bit. Take the applicator. You have to hold it against your skin like this. I'm trying to do this from different angles so that you see. You do not want to jar yourself though, and you don't want to pull it away. And basically you're going to just insert it by pushing down on this gray part that you see there on my arm. I will say, I count myself down all the time. I just think it's easier to get something done. So with that being said, I will do it like this so you can see what happens. And it's 1, 2, 3, go. As you can see, it went in and I just pull this away and my sensor's on me now. And I just usually push down, just make sure that it's on. I also go around the edges because that's the edges that actually lift up over time. And essentially, it's now on you for 2 weeks. So with that being said, the last part that you need to do to actually activate this sensor and get it working for yourself is you do scan it in the actual application. I can't do that real time with you right now because it's on my phone that I'm taping on. However, afterwards, I will scan my sensor. And once you scan the sensor, it will start a 1-hour timer. And that is allowing that sensor to calibrate with your application, but also calibrate with you because now that is inside you. I will follow up by saying this part here that I smacked against my skin, it is spring loaded. And the good thing is that everyone thinks that the needle stays in you. That is not the case. What stays in you is this teeny tiny little flexible wire that is sitting in the middle of the needle. So the purpose of the needle is really only to guide that wire into your skin underneath and allow it to stay in you. The needle actually springs back in this part. So even though like I'm trying with all my might to push it down and get access to it, nobody can hurt themselves with this afterwards because the needle's gone inside. So this is all basically garbage now and the sensor is good to go. So the very last thing that I wanted to show you guys was going back to the topic I was saying about sometimes the edges lift and things like that. Again, full disclaimer, not a sponsored product. I found this on my own. I did a little bit of research, and I found that you could buy on Amazon what's called adhesive patches for your sensor. They come in little packages like this. There's many different kinds, but the trick is that there's ones that cover the middle. There's ones that don't cover. I tried to do a little bit of research myself, and apparently you're not supposed to cover this middle thing here. So I really tried hard to find patches that actually had an open hole in the middle. The price of these aren't bad. I think I spent about maybe $13, $14, and you get, I believe, around 50 or 60 of them in here. So all I did was, I think I basically just typed in something like Libre sensor patches or Libre sensor adhesive, and these came up, and many different other products. With that being said, I'll say that these are not the easiest thing to use. I don't put them on right away because I find with myself about 8-9 days, I don't have any problems with it. It's usually about the 9th or 10th day that I really start to see the edges start to come up. And that's when I feel the need to potentially use one of these. These are double-sided, so the back under this white part is sticky. And then there's a layer that comes off of the top as well, just to make it a little bit more flexible and movable with your skin. You would think with a hole in the middle that fits, as you can see, right perfectly with that sensor, that this would be a piece of cake to get on you. It is not. Because the moment you take this white piece off of the back, the adhesive becomes so flexible that when you're trying to adhere it to your skin, it's moving all over the place. And I've had it go on like this. I've had it go on like this before. And sometimes I'm just trying to aim as best as possible. If I get even a portion of it on my skin and maybe it's not 100% perfect, I just go with it. And it will hold it for those extra, 4 or 5 days that I need it to. So that was the whole purpose of buying these little adhesive patches. You may not have any problems with it, and I really hope you don't, but I know that I need my sensors to stay on me 14 days. That is the typical, and that's usually what your benefits or drug plans will cover for. So make them last is what I can say. With that being said, I really hope that this helped. If you were looking for a video on how to apply it, I hope that just some step-by-step instructions like that has done good for you. If you're someone who maybe is hesitant or just fearful because of that needle and the whole idea of it, I hope I put your mind at ease. If you stuck out through the entire video, thanks for watching. I would say like the video, comment if this has been super helpful, and if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I will absolutely get back to you. And I just say thank you for watching. Like, share this, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow along with my journey. As I always say, talk to you later.